So from that moment in the classroom, now you're here a few weeks away from the election day again in your second race. And you touched on that a little bit earlier. You ran against Ciscomani in 2022, narrowly defeated then. What has changed about this race this year that makes you confident you'll be able to flip the seat back again this year?
Well, I think one of the biggest things is that I think the voters now see that Juan Ciscomani is not the moderate that he has pretended to be, that he ran on being last cycle, that in Congress, he has taken extreme positions and he has voted and supported the extremists in his parties rather than being a moderate or even an independent voice for Arizona. And here in Arizona, we really prize independence, people sticking up for people in this district. And we see this in his votes on reproductive freedoms, a top issue here in Southern Arizona. He cheered the repeal of Roe versus Wade, and he's voted repeatedly to restrict abortion access. Medication abortion, which really affects the women in our rural areas, and veterans and active duty women in our military. We have 2 military bases here. We have one of the largest populations of veterans, and he has been voting against their access to reproductive health care. And, it's very ironic. These are people who are fighting for our freedom, and he's voting against their freedom to make their own healthcare decisions. The border is also a top issue here, securing the border and fixing our immigration system. And when Trump came out and said, we have to keep the border a crisis so I can run on it for my presidential run, Juan Ciscomani kowtowed to Trump, and he rejected that bipartisan border deal, which is very popular here and would have been such a step ahead on a very divisive issue and one we need to address, from securing the border to fixing immigration.
Mhm. And during the recent debate between you and Rep. Ciscomani, abortion, of course, came up. And I thought your response was notable. When he repeated that he doesn't support a federal abortion ban, but trusts women, you responded, I don't trust you with my healthcare. I don't trust you with my daughter's healthcare. We need to leave this to women and their doctors. So, can you also further break down in Arizona what's at stake in terms of abortion? Because Arizona is one of the states that has a right to abortion initiative on the ballot.
It does. And this follows on Arizona, just narrowly missing having an 1864 criminal abortion ban go into effect. Our state Supreme Court ruled that it would go into effect. 4 of those justices were justices that Juan Ciscomani helped choose for our former governor. And women were panicked and very, very concerned. We very, very narrowly missed that. But we do have an abortion ban in effect right now. After 15 weeks, abortion is banned with no exceptions for rape or for incest, only for the life of the mother. And we know that that has not protected women in other states. And my opponent is perfectly fine and comfortable with leaving these decisions to state politicians to make. And, imagine, a ban without even an exception for rape, forcing women to bear the child of their rapist. That is not reasonable. That is not respectful of women. I don't trust Juan Ciscomani with my health care. I don't trust him with my daughter's health care. Women do not trust politicians to be making these decisions. These are decisions that need to be made by women and their doctors.